Hey guys, welcome back to Smoky Oak Barbecue Company. Today I'm going to do a very special cook, so near and dear to me. When I was a kid growing up, opening weekend of rifle deer season here in Georgia was a huge event. We would get checked out of school early on Friday, head down to deer camp, get everything set up. My Papaw Kenneth would make his world famous fried chicken and taters and onions for that Friday night's dinner. And it made such an impression on me, not only the food and how good it tasted, but just the experience of being in that camp and hanging out with family and listening to the stories and the tales and watching Papaw work his magic. And I want to share that with you guys today. Papaw Kenneth's special campfire fried chicken. Now, he did it on a double propane burner stove. I'm going to add a little bit of my own twist to it, but overall, this is the way he did it. Let's get going and I'll show you how to do it. Papaw used to do his on a double propane burner camp stove. And I'm going to do mine a little different. I'm going to do mine on a wood fire. I'm going to build a little fire in the firebox of my stick burner smoker. So we're going to start out with just a little bit of unlit lump charcoal. And we are going to add to that about a chimney full of charcoal that we're going to light. All right, so while that fire is coming up to temp, we're going to go ahead and start working on getting everything ready. This is all the stuff you're going to need, and I'm going to have all the ingredients listed out right here so you guys can check that out. The first thing we're going to do is get our taters and onions ready. So let's move some of this other stuff out of the way here. Now, all I'm going to do with my taters is just cube them up. Now, Papaw used to peel his potatoes. I can't tell you the number of hours that I have sat in a folding lawn chair next to the campfire and peeled potatoes on a Saturday afternoon or a Friday afternoon with Papaw Kenneth. He would always peel them and he would tell big tales as he was doing it, but I'm just going to cube mine up. I like them with the skin on. So what I'm going for here is just cut them into chunks, you know, about a 1/2 inch thick. You don't want them too thick, takes them too long to get done, but you don't want them too thin. We're not trying to make potato chips here. And next, we'll go ahead and cut up our onion, get the skin off of it. And pretty much the same deal, just kind of chunk it up. You probably, for 2 potatoes, you probably only need a 1/2 an onion. I usually go about 2 to 1. 2 potatoes, 1 onion. Unless it's a small onion. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. If you use 2 whole potatoes, you only need about a 1/2 of a big onion. If you're using a smaller onion, you might use the whole thing, but in this case, I think we'll be all right. That's pretty much all you need right there. You just want big chunks so that they don't get done too quick. Okay, so we got our charcoal dumped, and notice I dumped it on this side over here, so I got hot zone, cool zone. I'm going to add cast iron skillet. And we're going to go ahead and add some of our Crisco. Papaw always used Crisco or lard when he cooked. He would never use any other kinds of oil, maybe vegetable oil every once in a while. But most of the time it was always Crisco. He was not worried about the health aspect of this. So you're going to need just a heaping helping of Crisco, not tons of it, but just enough that when it melts down, it's going to, you know, slightly cover the bottom of the pan for these taters and onions. Okay, so that is melted down. So now we're going to let that oil get just a little bit hotter. We don't need it like deep fry hot, but you want it a little bit hot when you put your taters and onions in. All right, we're going to go ahead and add them in there. get them in there and spread them around just a little bit. All right, we're gonna keep a close eye on them, keep them stirred, but once we kind of get them going, we're gonna close the lid on the firebox here and let them go for a little while, and we'll check on them in just a bit. While we got those taters on there, let's go ahead and get ready to do our fried chicken. Now, Papaw's deal with the fried chicken, he always battered it in a brown paper bag. He called it a paper poke. P-O-K-E. Go get me a poke, Chuck. Time to make some chicken. So what he would do is take his paper poke and he would add in his flour. Now, he didn't measure this, but I got 1.5 cups. I'm gonna measure it for you guys and for my own sake too, so I'll make sure I get it good. So, 1.5 cups of flour. Papaw only used 2 seasonings. Salt, we're gonna do a tablespoon. And he used black pepper. We're gonna do a tablespoon. All right, so this is where I'm gonna go a little rogue. I'm gonna add some red cayenne pepper because I like the heat. I'm gonna do a tablespoon. Garlic powder because I like the flavor. Papaw liked garlic also. He liked onions and he liked stuff like that, so I'm sure he would approve of some garlic powder. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of paprika. Then he would take his poke, shake it up, get those ingredients all nice and mixed up. Which there again, his ingredients was only salt and pepper, so. Our taters and onions are coming along really nice, getting nice and brown. You can see that they're getting tender. I can push that spoon through that potato pretty easy, so they're getting nice and soft. So, we're gonna move these taters and onions from the firebox into the cooking chamber of the smoker and let them sit in there and gather that heat while we cook our fried chicken. Now, obviously, I didn't have enough room on the firebox to cook the taters and onions and the fried chicken. That's why Papaw Kenneth used a double burner camp stove. But I want to do it on open fire, so here we are. They really softened up a good bit. They're starting to get that nice brown color. That's exactly what you're looking for. If you ask me, how much time do you cook taters and onions? I would say enough time. Just get them to where they're fork tender and the onions have got just a little coloration, a little char. And just, if you like them al dente, cook them al dente. If you like them super soft, cook them super soft. I like them somewhere in between. So we're gonna close that up and let that sit and simmer in that heat while we get our fried chicken going. To get our fried chicken going, we're gonna get a skillet back on there and we're gonna add some Crisco. For this operation, you're gonna want about 2 heaping spoonfuls. You're gonna want enough that it's gonna not only cover the bottom, but come up about 1 inch on the sides, or maybe a 1/2 inch. We're gonna let that melt down, but unlike the potatoes and onions, we want this to be hot when we put that chicken in there. So I'm not gonna use, you could use a candy thermometer or something of that nature to check your temperature, but I'm gonna do it redneck style. And that redneck method is drop a little liquid in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. May give it just another minute or 2 to heat on up. Now that we know that oil is close, let's go ahead and get our chicken battered. And I'm using chicken thighs. Papaw would usually use chicken breasts and chicken drumsticks. That was his favorite. So I'm gonna drop in just a couple at a time. Give them a good shake. And they're gonna come out looking beautiful, nice and battered. You can see all the seasonings on there. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and get them all battered, and then I'll put them in there one at a time. All right, let's get these bad boys in that hot grease. While that chicken's going, don't forget about your taters and onions that are over here basking in that beautiful cooking chamber heat. So give them a stir. Give them just a little bit of love also. They're looking really nice. All right, we've been going about 15 minutes. Let's put a little flip on it. Close her back up and let her keep on rocking. Well, our chicken has been on there for 40 minutes, and my goodness, look at the color, look at the crispiness. I think we're ready to pull it off and get ready to have an incredible campfire dinner. That is Papaw Kenneth's deer camp fried chicken and taters and onions. I am so blessed to have had the upbringing that I did with my family out at the deer camp and in the woods and on the water. Papa would cook up these incredible meals on a Friday night or a Saturday night, and we would sit by the campfire or the old wood stove and tell stories and eat this food off of paper plates, and I promise you, there has never been finer dining at any establishment in the world. I appreciate you guys watching this video so much. I hope you guys will hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. God bless each and every one of you. And Papaw, I know you are watching from heaven. You are a heck of an outdoorsman, a heck of a musician, and we miss you dearly, and we'll see you on the other side.